Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty big, a major shift in how stuff gets made globally. We're talking about the intelligent revolution in manufacturing, AI. And we've got this really interesting report from KPMG International to help us dig in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite a piece of work. Their study is called Intelligent Manufacturing #YouCan with AI.
Hmm.
And they really did their homework. Surveyed, 183 senior manufacturing AI leaders?
Wow.
Yeah, across 8 countries. Plus, they talked to AI experts, KPMG specialists. It's thorough, not just scratching the surface.
Right, right. A proper deep dive then. Okay, let's unpack this. So, high level, what's the core transformation here? How is AI really changing manufacturing?
Well, the main thing is AI isn't just theory anymore. It's actually, redesigning manufacturing, every part of it, from the first design sketches through production, supply chains, even sales and managing the workforce. It's everywhere.
Sounds like it's way beyond just like small tweaks, more like rethinking the whole process.
Exactly. The report really stresses how AI is boosting efficiency, making operations smarter, more agile. And, this is important, it's helping with sustainability too, cutting waste, optimizing energy use.
Sustainability is huge right now. Can you give an example? How does AI help there specifically?
Sure. Well, think about production lines. AI can analyze incredibly complex processes to see exactly where waste is happening. Or it can adjust energy use second by second based on what's needed. Even help design products that use fewer resources or are easier to recycle later on.
That's really powerful stuff. Now, you said they surveyed leaders. What did these AI leaders conclude about actually integrating AI?
Yeah, one number really stood out to me. 93%.
93.
93% believe that fully integrating AI will give them a, quote, significant competitive edge. It's almost everyone agreeing on how big this is.
93%. Wow, okay. But is everyone actually doing it at the same level, or is it patchy?
Well, it's definitely patchy, very varied. The report points this out, quite fragmented. You've got companies really pushing ahead, what they call smart industrials, using AI all over. Then you have more traditional manufacturers, maybe just dipping their toes in, trying things in specific areas, like maybe AI in production. But the back office is still running on older systems.
Ah, okay. So for a lot of companies, it's not really a connected whole company strategy yet.
That seems to be a major challenge, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the report really argues that to get the full benefit, you need to move past those isolated projects. You need an enterprise-wide approach.
Okay, so breaking down the silos, connecting everything with AI. What's the end game? What does that future fully AI-powered manufacturing look like?
Well, they talk about agentic AI.
Agentic AI.
Yeah. Imagine systems that can pretty much run themselves. Think supply chains that adapt automatically if there's a disruption, or production lines making adjustments on the fly, no human needed. But getting to that kind of end-to-end intelligence, it really depends on having that connected, enterprise-wide setup we just talked about.
Agentic AI sounds incredibly advanced. Okay, so you stressed moving beyond isolated projects. Why isn't that enough? Why the push for enterprise-wide?
Fundamentally, it's because AI's real power comes when it's tied into the big picture, the company's strategy, how it actually creates value. And it also forces a cultural change, getting comfortable with experimenting, being more agile across the board.
So it's not just tech, it's changing how the whole company thinks and works.
Exactly. The goal is this more connected, adaptable, value-driven ecosystem across the entire manufacturing business.
Makes sense. Now, that KPMG report had some key findings. Besides the 93% figure, what else really jumped out?
Well, the investment levels are definitely worth noting. 36% are already putting more than 10% of their IT budget into AI.
10%. That's serious money.
It is. And 77% plan to increase that spending soon, so the commitment is there.
Okay, big spending. Are they seeing results yet? Is it paying off?
Early signs are good, yeah. Pretty encouraging. 96% said they've seen operational improvements from AI.
96%.
And 45% reported actual financial improvements. Get this, 62% are seeing ROI over 10% already.
Okay, so the investments seem to be working for many, but, it can't be all smooth sailing. The report mentioned challenges too, right?
Oh, absolutely. It hasn't been easy.
Yeah.
56%, so over half, ran into problems with data, and 40% mentioned workforce challenges. Things like skills gaps or maybe resistance to using new AI tools.
Data and people. Yeah, those often come up with big tech shifts. Any other major hurdles?
Well, it's interesting. While AI is seen as crucial, 78% actually said sustainability goals are more important.
More important than AI.
Yeah. But on the flip side, 85% said they do have plans to handle the extra energy AI might use, so they're thinking about it.
Right, aware of the environmental side. Okay, what about the actual AI tech they're using? What kinds?
Adoption's pretty widespread, actually. 74% are using machine learning, 72% predictive analytics, and surprisingly, maybe 67% are already using some form of that agentic AI we mentioned.
Already.
Yeah. And 91% said they're comfortable with AI making autonomous decisions,
Hmm.
but, within specific defined processes.
That's a high level of trust. Where are they seeing the biggest impact inside the company?
Right now, R&D and IT seem to be feeling it most. 77% reported big changes there, but operational improvements are right behind at 70%. So it's definitely hitting the core business too.
Let's circle back to those challenges, data and workforce. Can you give a bit more detail? What kind of hurdles are they facing?
Sure. The number one issue, reported by 30%, was just a lack of AI skills. Not enough people who know how to build or use this stuff. Then 24% mentioned security and data privacy concerns, which makes sense. And 22% pointed to employee resistance. People may be worried about change or their jobs.
Skill gaps, yeah, that's always a big one with new tech. How are companies trying to fix that? Get people up to speed?
Well, they recognize it's critical. 80% have actually invested in AI training programs for their staff.
Okay, that's
And encouragingly, 89% believe their employees are adapting pretty well to using the new AI tools.
that proactive training seems vital. One last point on strategy. Are these AI projects just random tech experiments, or are they tied into the main business goals?
Good news there, mostly. 79% reported good strategic alignment. So it seems like AI isn't just happening in a vacuum, it's seen as key to the company's overall vision.
Okay, that gives us a really solid picture. The huge potential, the money going in, the early wins, but also these key challenges they're tackling. Let's dig into one of those. The data problem. You said 56% had issues there. Why is data such a big deal?
It really is a cornerstone issue. The report hammers this home. Manufacturing generates tons of data, right? But it's often stuck in silos. Think about it. R&D has its design data. The shop floor has production data. Field service collects performance data out in the real world.
And they don't talk to each other.
Often, no, not effectively. So you might have amazing insights from how a product is actually used that could improve the next design. But if R&D can't easily see that field data, the opportunity is just lost.
Yeah, I can see that. Lost opportunities.
Exactly. Or maybe there's an inefficiency on the production line that could be fixed if they had better feedback from real-world performance, or even from the original design intent. But the loop isn't closed.
And I bet the complexity of the products themselves makes it even harder. Different products, different data.
Absolutely. You've got huge variety in what's being made. That means tons of different data types, needing different ways to analyze them. Plus, who owns the data? Sometimes the manufacturer, sometimes the customer, distributors, third parties. It can be all over the place.
Yeah.
And then you've got different formats, different standards, especially with older legacy systems mixed in. It's messy.
Okay, yeah. A complex, fragmented mess. So what's the fix? How do you tame that data beast and actually use it for AI?
The report pushes hard for a strategic approach, basically using AI itself to help integrate the data across functions. The goal is that closed-loop system we mentioned, data flowing smoothly between R&D, production, service. Because that interconnected data is what lets you constantly refine designs based on real performance, do predictive maintenance before things break, and make the whole supply chain smarter by matching production to real demand.
Ah, okay. So AI isn't just using the data, it's also the tool to bring it all together and make sense of it.
Precisely. It's moving from just reacting to problems to having this intelligent system where insights from integrated data drive constant improvement everywhere.
Makes total sense. Now, you mentioned agentic AI earlier. Let's talk more about that. How can these more autonomous AI systems really transform manufacturing?
Right. Agentic AI. These are systems that can, reason and act on their own to achieve goals. They could potentially automate those feedback loops we just discussed.
Yeah.
Instead of a person digging through data, an AI agent could analyze product performance and feed insights directly back to R&D.
Oh.
Yeah. Or spot recurring issues on the line and suggest fixes, or constantly update maintenance schedules based on how equipment is actually being used.
So it's like having a super efficient analyst working 204/7 in every part of the process.
That's a pretty good way to put it. And these agentic systems can also be good at handling all those different messy data formats. They can use techniques to standardize data, check its quality, and share it securely between different systems or partners.
And because they can analyze and integrate data so quickly, that leads to faster decisions overall.
Exactly. By breaking down those data silos, Agentic AI allows for real-time decision-making, dynamically adjusting production based on demand shifts, optimizing complex supply chains by seeing disruptions coming, even refining its own decisions as it learns from new data.
It really sounds like it pushes manufacturing towards being much more responsive, more adaptive. Okay, the report laid out a framework for building this intelligent manufacturing organization. What are the main pieces of that?
Yeah, they suggest a structured, kind of multi-layer approach, 3 layers: enterprise, functions, and foundations. And importantly, they stress having a dedicated transformation management office. Someone needs to coordinate all this across the layers.
Okay, enterprise functions foundations. Let's break those down. What's the focus at the enterprise level?
Enterprise is the big picture strategy.
Hmm.
How does AI change our business model? How does it align with our main goals? How do we manage the risks, the workforce changes? It's about setting the direction for the whole transformation.
Got it. The strategic umbrella. What about the functional layer?
That's where the rubber meets the road, really. It's about implementing AI within specific business areas, production, supply chain, sales, etc. Putting AI apps, intelligent agents, maybe advanced robots, into the daily workflows to make things work better, faster, smarter, driving value in specific functions.
And the third one, foundations. Sounds like the tech base.
Exactly. Foundations is all about the underlying tech stack you need, the infrastructure, the cloud capabilities, the data management, the cybersecurity, everything required to actually support the AI stuff happening at the functional and enterprise levels.
Makes sense. Strategy, implementation, and the tech to make it happen. The report also talked about 3 phases: enable, embed, and evolve. Can you walk us through those?
Sure. Phase one, enable, is basically getting the basics in place, laying the groundwork. So things like appointing an AI leader, creating an AI strategy, finding some high-value use cases for quick wins, boosting AI literacy with training, running pilot projects, and often using existing cloud platforms and pre-trained models to get started faster.
Okay, enable is about getting started, proving value, building understanding. What changes in phase 2, embed?
Embed is about deeper integration. AI gets built into workflows, products, services, maybe connected with robots or wearables. You usually see a senior leader taking charge of redesigning the workforce for AI. Ethics, security, trust become much bigger focuses. And you start deploying more diverse AI models, often needing upgrades to both cloud and maybe some older legacy tech.
Deeper integration, wider application. And the final stage, evolve. That sounds like full maturity.
Exactly. Evolve is where AI fundamentally transforms the business model and even the whole ecosystem the company operates in. AI works with other new technologies to tackle big industry-wide problems, often through collaboration with partners. The focus is on seamless value exchange, high ethical standards, trust, and really empowering the workforce to innovate.
It sounds like a clear path. Start small, integrate deeper, then transform the whole system. The report also had this blueprint of an intelligent manufacturer. What does that future company look like?
Yeah, the blueprint paints this picture of a really customer-focused company with AI woven through everything. It uses advanced tech for personalized experiences, makes decisions based on data insights, automates a lot of operations. Key traits are things like seamless customer engagement, predictive operations, fixing problems before they happen, modern AI-powered support, strategy driven by data, always learning and evolving.
So it's not just about internal efficiency, it's also about being way more tuned in to customers in the market.
Precisely. And the blueprint also highlights things like resilience to disruptions, sustainability being core, and a workforce that's constantly adapting and growing with the technology. And underpinning it all, things like hybrid cloud, smart data management, responsible AI practices, embedded intelligence and apps, strong cybersecurity, and using digital twins extensively.
It's a really complete vision. Let's go back to those phases: enable, embed, evolve. The report got more specific about what happens in each phase across those enterprise, functional, and foundations layers. Can you give us that more detailed view?
Sure. So in Enable, at the enterprise level, define those high-value use cases, model the potential value, set up initial AI governance and ethics rules. Also, invest in basic AI training company-wide and align the AI strategy with business schools, functionally. Pilot those early use cases, test them, refine them, start augmenting what people do with simple AI tools and foundations. Access AI via cloud, set up a basic development environment, maybe introduce some simple pre-built AI models.
Okay, that sets the stage clearly. What shifts moving into embed?
Right, embed. Enterprise level, you're redesigning the operating model more deeply for AI. Building trust in AI becomes a bigger focus. Reshaping the workforce, managing change across the company, these are key priorities. Functionally, AI becomes more like a co-pilot. Lots of agile testing and development, embedding AI right into core processes and value streams, using AI to transform products and customer experiences. Foundations level, now you're selecting or training more specific AI models. You need solid enterprise-wide data management, and you're investing in more scalable, secure AI infrastructure and cyber measures.
Deeper, wider, more integrated. And finally, evolve. What defines that phase across the layers?
Evolve, enterprise, defining a whole ecosystem strategy, modeling the value of that network, redesigning the core business model for collaboration, establishing robust, always-on AI trust platforms, integrating partner workforces strategically, functionally. AI powers workflows across the ecosystem, between organizations. AI agents deployed across networks, continuously evolving customer experiences, focusing on outcomes via constant agile change. Foundations. Leveraging proprietary AI models and ecosystem data becomes a competitive advantage. Optimizing cloud with AI-specific hardware, maybe even exploring things like AI plus quantum computing. Forging strategic AI alliances.
It's really interesting how the focus deepens and broadens across all three layers through those phases, a clear roadmap. Let's zoom in on phase one. Enabling teams with AI. What are the concrete first steps manufacturers should take?
Okay, enable phase, enterprise level, first step. Appoint a senior leader, someone to champion AI. Then, develop a clear AI strategy that fits with business priorities. At the same time, roll out AI literacy programs, get everyone understanding the basics. And critically, make sure you're compliant with regulations right from the start.
Leadership, strategy, basic knowledge, and compliance, the building blocks. Okay. What about at the functional level, on the shop floor or in the supply chain?
Functionally, it's about picking the right pilot projects. Look for quick wins. The report mentions things like predictive maintenance predicting machine failures. Also, quality control using computer vision to spot defects. AI for better production scheduling. And using AI to improve supply chain forecasting.
Those sound like smart places to start, clear potential ROI. And the technology needed for this first phase. What's the foundation level look like?
The idea in Enable is to keep it relatively simple initially. Leverage existing cloud platforms, use pre-trained AI models where possible to reduce cost and complexity. Maybe explore some edge computing or IoT sensors to get real-time data from the floor, but you're not necessarily building massive custom infrastructure yet.
So the early wins are mostly about efficiency and cost saving.
Exactly. Automating monitoring, optimizing logistics, catching defects earlier, automating admin tasks. These early wins prove AI's value and build momentum for the next phases.
And the potential value is pretty big, even early on. The report mentions some numbers around Gen AI.
Yeah, KPMG research in the U.S. suggested Gen AI alone could potentially boost EBITDA by somewhere between 4% and maybe even 18% in manufacturing, if fully adopted. They pointed to value in operations, execution, CRM, performance optimization, supply chain, lots of areas.
4 to 18%, that's huge. The report had a case study too, right? A UK consumer products company.
Yes. They used AI for things like optimizing product weight, using computer vision for quality checks, autonomous robots for moving materials, and digital twins for predicting maintenance needs. But importantly, they also highlighted the challenges, getting the workforce on board, finding AI talent. And crucially, they realized they had to change their operations to actually fit the AI, not just plug it in.
Right, that highlights the practical side. Okay, let's move to phase two, embedding AI in the workflow. How does things change here?
So in Embed, AI isn't just a tool anymore. It's becoming part of the fabric. It gets integrated into end-to-end workflows connected to robots, digital twins, production control systems. Usually have a senior AI leader driving alignment across the whole company now. And things like safety, security, trust become even more critical as AI gets into more core processes.
So less about pilots, more about weaving AI into the entire value chain.
Exactly. And the focus shifts too. It's not just about saving costs anymore, though that's still there. It's also about how AI can drive revenue, innovation, make the business more agile. You're often using a mix of AI models now, maybe needing hybrid infrastructure, some cloud, some edge, some on-premise processing power.
What are some key areas or value streams where AI really starts making a difference in this embed phase?
The report lists several. Things like intelligent production leading to smarter factories, creating intelligent products with AI built in, smart sales using AI insights, AI-driven supply chains for better efficiency and resilience, using AI to speed up innovation, creating connected customer experiences, more sustainable manufacturing, even using AI for better commodity price forecasting.
That's a really broad impact. But getting there isn't easy. What are the main roadblocks people hit during this deeper embed phase?
Yeah, several big ones. Siloed systems are still a problem, makes it hard to share data and integrate AI across functions. Old legacy tech, technical debt that holds companies back. Getting data from the entire product lifecycle, which is often scattered, is tough. Actually, embedding AI into physical products and connecting services is complex. Then you've got workforce worries about jobs, resistance to change, the sheer difficulty of managing such a big transformation, and making sure the AI is reliable, explainable, compliant. That's a constant challenge.
Those are definitely significant hurdles. Takes real effort to overcome them. There was another case study from China focused on this phase.
Yes, they took a phased approach, focusing on high-value stuff like quality inspection and predictive maintenance first. There are challenges. Data governance, getting different systems to work together, the costs, finding talent, and just keeping up with how fast AI changes. They also had some unique issues, like managing environmental impact and maintaining a huge amount of equipment.
It really shows that embedding AI deeply requires more than just tech skills. It's about organization, data management, addressing specific industry issues.
Okay, on to the final phase. Evolving your ecosystem. What does this look like?
Evolve is the most mature stage. Here, AI isn't just internal, it's connected with other cutting-edge technologies. It drives big breakthroughs by enabling collaboration with customers, suppliers, partners, the whole network. Ethics and trust are absolutely central here, with a real focus on, uplifting human potential and experience.
So AI extends beyond the company walls, connecting the whole ecosystem.
Exactly. Companies use AI's predictive power for continuous optimization across the network. AI agents might operate across company boundaries. Intelligence is deeply embedded in core processes, leading to better customer experiences and product value. The idea is to transform from a single company solving its own problems to being part of an interconnected system that tackles industry-wide challenges together, orchestrated by AI.
A truly networked, intelligent future. The report gave examples of using AI for supplier discovery in this phase. Yes, good examples. One was a UK consumer goods firm using AI to automatically find potential new suppliers, checking things like diversity, status, and financial health from online data. Another was an energy tech company using AI supplier discovery to quickly find and vet new suppliers for solar components when regulations change rapidly. Shows the agility it enables.
Great examples of ecosystem agility. What other big future trends does the report see in this evolve phase?
Well, they foresee things like circular manufacturing networks, using AI and maybe blockchain to track materials and enable reuse, moving away from the linear take, make, dispose model. Also, fully autonomous AI-driven supply chains predicting demand in real time, self-managing warehouses using multi-company platforms, product-as-a-service models becoming more common using AI and digital twins for remote monitoring and proactive service. And finally, more cross-industry collaboration. Smart factories integrated with energy grids, city planning, logistics networks, creating these optimized industrial ecosystems.
It's a really powerful vision. AI as the conductor of these complex industrial orchestras. Okay, for manufacturers on this journey, the report had key considerations. What are the main takeaways for them?
Four main things to keep front of mind. First, design a clear AI strategy. It needs to align with your strengths in production or supply chain, focus on high-impact uses, include governance, ensure it can scale, and have clear ways to measure ROI.
Strategy first. Got it. What's number two?
Build trust. That means using explainable AI, checking for bias, engaging the shop floor teams is crucial, having clear ethics and compliance rules, testing thoroughly, and importantly, showing off the successes to build confidence.
Trust and transparency makes sense, especially in manufacturing. Third consideration?
Build a sustainable infrastructure. You need to modernize old systems, probably move towards cloud, unify your data, maybe data lakes, good governance, invest in secure data management, and use edge AI and IoT for real-time processing where it makes sense.
The right tech foundation is key. And the fourth point?
Build the right workforce culture. Integrate AI training, reskill your people. Position AI as a helper and enabler, not a replacement. And encourage collaboration between the manufacturing experts and the AI specialists.
Strategy, trust, infrastructure, and culture. Those four seem to cover the critical bases for navigating this AI transformation.
Absolutely. Focusing on these areas is really fundamental for manufacturers, not just to adopt AI, but to actually get the long-term value, stay competitive, and grow sustainably in this, well, increasingly digital industrial world.
This has been incredibly insightful, a real deep dive into that KPMG report. It's so clear AI isn't just on the horizon anymore. It's here, and it's fundamentally changing manufacturing. The potential for efficiency, resilience, innovation, it's huge.
It really is. And as we've talked about, realizing that potential means tackling those challenges head on: the legacy systems, the data silos, the skills gaps. You have to get past the pilot stage to really transform the enterprise.
Right. And looking ahead, it seems the winners will be the ones who weave AI into everything they do, build agile teams mixing human and machine smarts, and keep investing in tech and people. That fusion of human ingenuity and machine intelligence seems key.
Precisely. It's an ongoing journey, this evolution towards intelligent manufacturing. The companies that take that holistic, strategic, forward-looking approach are the ones best set up for success.
And finally, for you, our listener, maybe take a moment to think about what this AI-driven shift in manufacturing means more broadly. It's not just about factories. How might it affect the wider economy? What skills will be needed in the future workforce? How could these changes maybe even touch your own work or interests? It's a massive transformation, and we're really only starting to see its full impact.